Your parents are not required to love you. The way I see life, right? And not everybody has the same perspective in life. I truly believe I'm not from this planet. I truly believe that, but ever since I was a kid, I'm like, how did I get here? Like, I've always been thinking that. And come to the realization that your parents are just portals to come to this planet. They are not required to love you. They are not required to have the best interests in heart. Your parents are insecure and they hate themselves. That's all they're going to give you. Hatred, low self-esteem, and just being heartbroken. That's all they're going to give you. That's all they're going to do. Just give you disappointment. People can only give you what they give themselves. So if your parents, you look at them, right, and you can tell they don't love themselves, how the hell are they going to love you? You're trying to gain love from people that can't even give love to themselves. You're trying to get self-esteem from people that don't even have a good self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? I know it's unfortunate, but to actually grow and actually to accept and do better in life, you have to accept that your parents don't love you. You gotta accept it that your parents don't have your best interests in heart. A lot of parents actually want the worst for their kids. A lot of parents actually want to wait and see their kids fail so they can say, told you so. You should have listened to me. You trying to do the most. If you only just listened, maybe you would have done something in your life. A lot of parents don't like their kids. They don't love them because they hate themselves. Just think about it. How can you sit here and love yourself? You hate something that's part of you. You hate something that came from you. It's impossible. It's literally, that's you. That came from you. You made that. You can't sit up here and be like, oh, I hate my kid. It's part of you. You hate yourself. But a lot of people don't want to admit that. A lot of parents want to act like they got their best interests at heart for their kids. But in reality, they want to see fail. In reality, they want to see their kids fail so they can say, told you so. Or so they can control their kids. They don't want their kids to surpass them. Or I want you to have an easier life. But the moment they notice that their kid's life is easier, they envy that. It's a hard pill to swallow. I had to swallow that pill yesterday. I come to the realization, just because my parents made me does not mean they gotta love me. And I'm sitting here and I'm accepting that they don't. And that's okay. My worth is based on how well I love myself. A person that doesn't give love to themselves cannot give love to you. That's just how shit works. You can't get money from a person that doesn't have money. It is what it is. It might hurt. Trust me, it really did hurt me yesterday, but it is what it is. It's better to accept it than to be delusional and let them hurt you multiple times. It is what it is. Your parents don't love you, and that's okay. Move on. Try to do better next time. Realize that. Let that generational curse of not loving your children, let that generational curse of traumatizing other people because you're so hurt, let that curse of bleeding on other people because you're hurt, let that curse end. Be the generational curse breaker. Be the change. Just know this is hard. This ain't weak. This is not for the weak. This is the hardest thing I'm doing, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. But at least I'm aware I can't heal when I'm still living with them. The moment they see some progress, they bring me back to square one. Don't get me wrong. Just because I do something that I'm not proud of does not erase all the work I put in. Does not erase all of the progress I've made. It just made me realize I can't heal from a place that already broke me. I can't. And that's okay. When your parents don't love you, they will try to do everything to deter you from reaching your higher self. They see that you don't have any financial problems, or they see that you want better. They see that you're not willing to settle for less like they did. They get upset. They'll try to do everything in their power to stop you. They'll say everything to your face, but actions speak louder than words. They say they love and care about you, but when it's the opportunity to help you and actually support you with your dreams, nowhere to be found. that my parents have raised me and kept me safe for all these years. But just realizing that my 20 years of being on this planet, my parents have never loved me. Yeah, they might care for me, but if they don't love themselves, they cannot love me. So therefore, they don't love me. Like, all this, but they done X and Y and Z, they done everything. Newsflash, people can do everything for you, but they don't have the best intentions. Your parents could want you to go to college just so they can brag to their friends or people that they either don't like, or for people that would even spit on them if they're on fire. That's just the sad truth. And it's like, it is what it is, bro. It really is what it is. You just gotta accept that. Because if you don't accept it, you're always going to be stuck in the same place you were 10, 20 years ago. You're trying to gain love for people that don't even have that in their heart. You're trying to get compassion, love, and security from people that don't even have that and give that to themselves. You just got to accept that. You just got to accept that. Your worth, the way you see yourself, is based on how well you love yourself. You're going to remove yourself from people that don't cherish you. Be in places that you're appreciated, not tolerated. If you don't like how your family makes you feel, don't be around them. You know, sometimes we get caught up in like, oh, their family, they're my earth family, this and that. They just happen to be your earth family. Believe it or not, there's people out here that actually care about you. That doesn't mean they're your family. There's people out here that resonate with your soul tribe. Most of the time, they're not your family. I'm aware that me experiencing this is here to make me grow and become a strong person that I need to be. I don't know what my purpose is 100%, but I have a feeling. How is another person supposed to help you heal from something that they never had to heal from? How am I supposed to heal the world on certain topics and certain things if I never heal from it myself? I'll be lying. It wouldn't be genuine. My genuine authenticity is here. Despite what my parents say, despite what my family says, despite what strangers say on the internet, I'm gonna be me unapologetically. Like, I'm always gonna be me. And that pisses people off because a lot of people don't have the opportunity or the confidence to even do whatever they want to do in public. A lot of people are scared of what other people might think of you or what other people might think of themselves. But people have to realize people are just a reflection of how they are on the inside. They are. So you're sitting here like, oh, why are they being so rude? I've given everything for them to love me. They don't even love themselves, so how are they gonna love you? How are they gonna love you? It's not what you do for them. It's the fact that they don't love themselves. They don't have the capacity to do it. So they don't have the capacity to give something they don't give themselves. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. I know it hurts because for the longest I tried to deny this. For the longest I tried to deny that my parents don't love me. For the longest, man. I'm about to turn 21. And now I finally realized that. Now I got through my thick that my parents don't love me, and that's okay. They might care for me. They might do things for me. But, so, they don't have my best interests at heart. Because if they did, they would be my support system. Just because they're physically here and making sure I'm alive does not mean they love me. People have dogs and they be torturing the dogs. Still give them a place to stay and eat though. Do they love the dog? No. Yes, I get it. Actions are louder, speaks louder than words. But love is how you make a person feel, and it backs by the action of what you do with it. Yeah, a person can make sure you're alive and you're good, but they can also say the meanest things to you. They can also make you have a low self-esteem. They can also stop you from starting your dream. They can also stop you from being the person that you always wanted to be. They can also stop you from reaching and becoming your higher self. Is that love? Oftentimes we think just because we're used to a form of affection, because that's all we knew, that's all we were raised with, we think that's how it's supposed to be. No. I didn't realize my parents might not love me until I moved out. Until I witnessed different types of family dynamics. Then I realized mine was dysfunctional. All these years I've been gaslit into thinking I was the problem, but I'm not. If a person keeps on telling you that you're the problem, it's because they're looking at a mirror. They're projecting onto you. I cannot tell a person that they're a problem unless I think I'm a problem myself. I cannot give something that's not already in me. I can't. If it's not in me, I can't give it. So you constantly belittle somebody, call them mean names, berate them, destroy their self-esteem, try to F up their destiny. It's because they already think about them. They already think about themselves in that way. A person's trying to make you feel small. It's because you being so big makes them small. So they want you to feel how you make them feel just by shining. Y'all don't even understand. Like, this took me 20 years to actually understand. Like, the only person that loves me in this world is me. If a person is insecure, if your parents are insecure, your family members hate themselves, they have no bone of love for themselves, they cannot give it to you. So therefore, they don't love you. That's it. Simple as that. So give yourself peace. Actually start loving yourself by moving in places that you don't belong in. Go where you're appreciated, not tolerated. Do what you have to do. You only experience this lifetime once. If you decide to come back here, I mean, good luck, Charlie. I don't know. Gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. These people would spit in your face, make you feel small, destroy or try to destroy your self-esteem, just to still be insecure. Ain't that crazy? You would think putting so much energy into hating you would make them love themselves. It makes them hate themselves even more. How can you bring a person into this world and try to belittle them and compete with them? How are you competing with your own child? If that doesn't show, I don't know, man, it's crazy. I'm not trying to bash them or anything like that. I'm just speaking the truth. Because to this day, they still don't think they're insecure. To this day, they still don't think what they're doing is a problem. They don't have the capability to have any self-awareness or any accountability. So therefore, they can never grow. They can never do better because they don't want better. They don't want to heal because it's too much work. Some people are okay with the lives that they're living. Some people are okay with the bare minimum. Some people are okay with their crappy lives. But the more and more you try to get love and admiration and support from people that are not capable of giving it, the more and more you're robbing yourself of love. The more and more you're robbing yourself with time. And time is something you can never buy back. You can never get time back. All that time you spent trying to convince people and trying to people please them and do what they like so they can at least love you. If their love is based on what you can do for them, they don't love you. They love what you can do for them. Simple. If how they treat you is based on how you make them feel, they don't love you. They love how you made them feel. They see you as pawns to their game. And a lot of parents do that, but they don't want to admit it, though. They don't want to admit it. But they know that deep down. They just try to ignore it. But they know. So do better. If you want better, you have to do better. Remove yourself from the situation. Because I'm telling you, you cannot heal from the same place that hurt you. So if your family really hurt you, made you hate how you see yourself, or you hate how they make them feel, you gotta step away first. You have to. You have to. You can't. Don't try to save them. Don't try to persuade them to going to therapy. They're grown enough to know. They've been here twice as long as you've been. They've been here way longer than you've been, and they still refuse to get the resources to do better because they don't want to. They don't want to. So do yourself a favor and do better. Do yourself a favor and give yourself the love that you deserve. Be around people that actually love seeing you, love being around you. Can't wait to just spend time with you, appreciate you, support you. They don't want to see you fail. Genuine people, because you are genuine. Because if you're watching this, you probably have a hunch that your parents might not like you. Your parents might not love you, because your parents might like you, they might just not love you. And your parents might hate you, but they like you. It's crazy, because love and like are not the same thing. And love and hate are not opposites. It's a thin line. They look the same. A lot of the time, when your family members or your parents might not like you, it's because their parents did the same thing to them. And those parents did the same thing to them. And it goes back generations and generations. It goes back to, I don't even know. But it's up to you to stop that curse. But the guaranteed way to stop a generational curse is to not have kids. If you feel like you're not capable of healing and doing better, do everybody a favor and not have the kids. It's okay to not have kids. I don't know why people feel the need to procreate so bad. There's literally subreddits of people, parents sharing that they hate their kids, that they don't want to be parents, that they regret having their kids. I can't name one pair of parents that actually enjoy having their kids. They might say it, but deep down inside, they fantasize about when they didn't have kids. If it's to that point, just be honest and say you regret having your kids. Because oftentimes my parents be saying that, and I know they mean that. And a lot of times people will be like, oh, I didn't mean that when I was angry. Anger and getting drunk or whatever people say whenever they're angry or drunk or whatever is how they truly mean. They just wanted an excuse to actually say it and to let you know that. So that whole, oh, they didn't mean that is BS. Because if they never really meant it, they wouldn't say it. They had to think about it. The thought had to pop up in their head, and they decided to say it. They meant that. And they want you to know that. And they want you to feel the pain. They want you to get hurt on what they said. They meant that. 100%. They meant that. So keep it pushing. Now it's the ball's in your court. If you want to be close to them again, if you want to get hurt by them again, that's your decision. That's your decision. So do what's best for you. A parent that doesn't support you or doesn't make you feel good or doesn't make you grow is a setup. They're the lesson. They're the thing that's going to push you to grow. But just remember, parents are not required to love you. They're just required to raise you and make sure you don't get unalived early. That's it. That's it. And I admire parents that are honest and say that they regret having kids. I admire that because it takes the first step to do better. I admire parents that don't recommend having kids because they're honest. A lot of these parents are miserable, and they want you to be miserable. And they say, oh, but I love my kids. They'll say the most heinous thing that their kid has done, or how much stress they're in, or how much little to no sleep they're in, but they'll finish it off by saying, but I love my kids though. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm not saying parenthood is easy, but no. If you call your own kids out their name, you don't love them. You don't. And that's okay. That is a-okay. At least you're honest. And just know that they didn't start hating themselves for no reason. They've been through things. You've been through things. But they use what they've gone through as an excuse onto tearing you down. They use that as an excuse to treat you horribly. Nothing has an excuse. There's no excuse for anything. Just because you've been through something does not mean you got to put another person through that too. It takes emotional maturity. It takes courage. It takes strength. And if your parents think, oh, I've been through this, so you got to do it too, they're emotionally weak. They're a weight you got to lift. Use them to grow, but the moment you realize they feel like dead weight, cut them off. Cut them off. People get set up by their parents all the time. Marvin Gaye, his own father unalived him. If that doesn't speak volume that these parents are not required to love you, if that doesn't speak volume that there's envious parents out there, if that doesn't prove that these people are only here to just make sure you make it out for a little bit, I don't know what does. I don't know what does, but I'm tired of hearing people lying and be like, oh, my parents love me. If you gotta make a statement that your parents love you, you know deep down inside they don't. Because I convinced myself multiple times, and I'm finally setting myself free and just realizing they don't. Yeah, they might care about me to a certain extent, but saying they want the best for me, that's a lie. Because they don't even want the best for themselves. Again, I'm not trying to bash them. I'm using this as an example to anybody that's watching this that feels like their parents don't love them. Just know it's okay. As long as you love yourself, that's all that matters, bro. That's all that matters, because you cannot love another person if you do not love yourself. I'm telling you. Love yourself enough to grow. Love yourself enough to heal. Love yourself enough to want the best out of life and to treat the person in your life the best out of life too. Just do what's best for you, because you never know when it's going to be the last day you're on this planet. You really never know. Anywho, stay beautiful, stay authentic, confirmation, but stay honest reflection. Thanks for having time with Tati. I'm out.